Hi, Derek here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I thought we'd do something a little bit different, or I thought I would do something a little bit different, and I decided to do some time lapse. Not done time lapse before, or rather I have done it before, but I've not done a video on it before. So, and the purpose of the time lapse isn't to show you how good I am at doing the particular thing that I'm doing, which is just cutting a hedge. It's more to show you that this is available in Photoshop, that we can take a series of time-lapse images, throw it together in Photoshop and make a video of it. Now, some of the things you have to remember with time-lapse is you need a lot of images to get even a small video. Something like 10 seconds, 20 seconds worth of video will easily take you up to the 500 images. Tips on time lapse: if something is moving slow, you probably should be taking plenty of pictures if it's moving slow. And by plenty of pictures, maybe every 2 or 3 seconds apart. Something moving fast, again, you cut that down to like 1 second apart. If you're taking time lapse of a ship moving along the horizon, for instance, take them a second apart or a couple of seconds apart maximum. If you've got a slow moving person like me cutting a hedge, because I was static in the same areas for quite a lot of time, I took them at 10 seconds apart, but probably 5 seconds apart would have been better. But there you go. In terms of camera settings, camera was on top of a table on a tripod, fixed in position, didn't move. Camera was set at f8. Now I had it at 400 ISO, and reason for that is because the sun was outside and we were going, cloud was moving, etc. So we're going quite bright to quite dark. So I exposed for the sky more or less, which meant that my shadows were quite dark. So I put a bit more ISO on it, and hopefully it keeps it steady all the way through. We don't get any really dark spots and we don't get any really bright spots. And the other setting that I would always advise you to change is your JPEG settings. If you shoot in RAW, you don't want to be doing this in RAW, especially if you're doing shorter duration, shorter intervals between shots. RAW files take that a little bit more time to render, and if you're taking them every second, you may cause your sort of memory card to lock up every now and again while it's buffering. So the settings for these, I'm just going to import them now. So camera's attached to the computer. Going to open Bridge. Going to make a folder here, new folder, and we'll call it time lapse. Time lapse, and however you get the photos into your computer is entirely up to you. I use Bridge, prefer Bridge. We'll go to File, get photos from camera, choose your camera, and this will take a few seconds. I think there was 241 files, and by cutting it down to small JPEGs rather than RAW in the camera, it's 425 megabytes. Had that been RAW files, even if it didn't have any buffering, you're probably talking 2 or 3 gigabytes. So it just makes everything that a little bit easier to handle if you cut the thing down. So we're going to put them into the folder time lapse, which is selected, and I've got it ticked to make. I can either take that off and have it just go into that folder, or I'm going to give the folder a date, today's date. I don't know why I bother with that, because it's actually, let's just give it a custom name. Custom name will be 01 OG 2016, so that if I do more time lapse, then they'll all go into that same folder and I'll have them separated into the dates that they were made. So let's click the Get Media. This will take a few seconds to all come in. Again, the fact that they're not in RAW files means they're going to reasonably quick. If they were RAWs, it would certainly be taking a little bit longer than this. And once we've got them all in, we'll open Photoshop. Now there are other video editors out there. There's free ones. There's Windows Movie Maker. That's quite good. So let's go in here, and there you go. There's all these files. And if I make the screen big and just flick through them, here's the videos, and it's quite clear that this particular lens I'm using has put £10 on me. But don't worry. And I'm just clicking all the way through these. I had to move the camera. Didn't go full widescreen as wide as I could have done because I was washing in the garden, some laundry hanging, and I'm sure you didn't want me videoing that. So there we go. There's all the images. So we can close Bridge now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of editing, and we'll do it here in Bridge. I'm going to right click on my first image, and you can do this in Lightroom. I'm going to do it in Bridge. I'm just going to right click the first image. I'm going to down here to where it says Opening Camera Raw, and I've got clipping turned on here, and you can see that we've got quite a bit of clipping in the sky. So I'm going to bring the highlights back and recover that pretty quickly. And I'm going to bring the shadows up just a little bit, just to make sure that if the sun comes out, it won't suddenly make this look dark. Definitely going to bring the clarity up, and I'm going to bring vibrance up just a bit, not too much, because human beings appear in this at some point, and that's fine. Color temperature, do we need any more or less than that? A little bit. It was quite hot outside today, as you'll see. I built up quite a sweat doing this. So happy with that. So we're just going to click done. I'm not going to open it just yet. And if you see the little icon up here, that's the develop settings. And so what I'm going to do now is going to right click, go down to develop settings, copy settings, and then I'm going to left click on my next image and go all the way down to the last one, or press Ctrl A, does the same thing. But holding the shift key, I'm now pressing this one, that's them all highlighted. I'm then going to right click, back to develop settings and paste settings. I'm just going to paste everything because I never made any crops or anything that's spot healing or anything like that, so I can just do that. And you'll see it quickly changing the colour, bring the colour temperature up, so that's fine. We can close Bridge now. Just remember the folder we're in is 1st of August template Canon 5D3. Sorry, Timelapse. We'll close that. Now going to open up Photoshop. Okay, so got Photoshop open. So come up to the File menu and click New document, or Control and N is the shortcut. Now, most time you open Photoshop up, it's going to be set to this US paper, or unless you've changed it to something else, to photo or various. Most folk will not come down here. This is film and video. Been there for a long time, but most of us don't use it. And this drop down will give you various sizes. Going to go for HD, 1080p by 720. Just trying to look, see if there's one. Sometimes I have frame rates with them as well for your videos, but I'm not seeing that here. So we'll just go for HDV 1080, and it's got the normal 1920 by 1080 dimensions for HD, and then click OK. This opens here. Next you want to click on Create Video Timeline, and the next thing we're going to do is add all these files to this timeline. So click File. Right, before we do that, let's click this little box down here and set timeline frame rate, and Let's see what's available. I want to go down to 10, or custom actually, let's go down to 5. I'm going to go down to 5 frames per second. That's not the fastest. So generally you want to be playing for 20 to 30 frames per second. I only recorded one image every 10 seconds. So we've done that, we've changed the frame rate down. We're now going to go to layer and down to where it says video layers and new video layer from file, and we take it to here, click open, and it should, alright, click OK. Now that's done that to me before, and it's really strange that it's only seems to be after I've put settings on. So let's Control A, pick up the whole lot, right click, we'll go to develop settings and clear settings. Let's take all these settings off. I'm not sure why it's doing it. It shouldn't be doing it. It should take them in regardless of settings. So we'll just do it anyway. We'll go all the way down. So that's all these settings clear, and we'll try this again. So Photoshop, layer, video layers, new layer from file. Point to that folder, the 1st of August that we created. Highlight the first one. Click open, and with no settings active, it loads it up, no problem. Again, I'm not sure why it's doing it, and if we pull the timeline along, you'll see it's brought all these videos in. So because I wanted to do some adjustments on this, I'm going to create a smart object. Actually, you know what, I'll just do the adjustments first. So we'll pick up the, and that's the good thing about doing video in Photoshop, you can do adjustments, either load everything in an individual layers and go through them one at a time and adjust it as you normally would, or I've got them, the camera never moved, the only thing it changed was the weather, the clouds, or my movement. So I'm quite happy that any changes I do are global to the whole lot of the videos, images. All the images are stored within this video file. So I'm going to pick up a curves layer. I'm just going to get a little scrubby hand up here, and I'm just going to take the highlights down, and I'm going to go to the shadow layer and take that up. And we wanted it a little bit warmer, so again we'll stay in the curves layer. We'll go to the red. We'll add in a little bit red, and we'll go to blue channel, and we'll bring down the blue. Obviously blue is yellow in the channel, so that's fine. And I think I'll add in a vibrance layer just so we can get a little bit more colour into the, a little bit richer. That's fine. I'm now going to just highlight the top layer and highlight this layer here. We're going to right click and just convert it to a smart object, and that way if I want to add a filter in or anything like that at the end I can. I'm going to get rid of these guides, so Control and the letter H will get rid of these blue guides. Generally they're a good idea to have them, especially if you're setting aspect ratios, but I'm getting rid of them. Control and H, take them away, and that's about as much as I need to do in here. So now we're just going to export this to say File. So once you've done all the settings, colour, anything else you want to do here, the one other thing I would like to do here, and I'm going to say filter, camera raw filter, is just whack up the clarity just a little, and that'll do the whole object. Click OK. Right, I'm happy with that. So when you've done the adjustments that you want, you've got the file stacked, and the good thing about these, if I wanted to break these layers down into individuals, I could. Not gonna. I can mask out things, I can add things in. The camera never moved, so if I were to take out this satellite dish for instance, I could do that in the normal way that I would in any layer, but not interested in that just now. We're going to go to File and Export, and we want to go to Render Video and click. So we'll give it a title, and we'll call it Timelapse. Let's call it something else. 20 seconds to trim your bush. Yeah, it's a bit more appropriate. We're going to select a folder we want to put out. I'm just going to put it back in the same folder that we're in just now. So computer, video, it's not video, store, 5.3, and we're just going to go down to time-lapse. And we'll leave it in the main folder, we'll not put it inside the images. So we click in there. Oh, missed the S in seconds, let's put that up there. This is the time to make anything you want to, so we've got the frame, 5 frames per second, preset, 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 preset. Okay, so let's just hit that, render, and it'll take a few seconds. Okay, that took a few seconds, that's it rendered now. So let's go to the folder and see how it plays. So here we go. Right at the minute you can see in terms of short video it's just a bit too long. I'd really like to have this down to about 20 seconds, but that's fine. We can cut the speed. It's 48 seconds, so realistically I'm going to cut it down to about 24 seconds. I could have done that in Photoshop, but I wanted to get the maximum number of frames visible in before I did that. Now I've got this software here. And the first part of this video I've already recorded, and I'm now recording the second part of the video, and I'm going to add in, and it's a little bit odd seeing myself there just now, but I'm going to import the media, and the media in this instance is going to be that file that we just created. So let's go to videos, so let's go to video store, video store down to 5D3, down to time lapse, and there's our video there. So we're just going to bring that in here, and once it's in here, this is Camtasia Studio software. It's the software I'm using to record the screen that you're seeing just now, and I'm now going to add this here onto a timeline. I'm going to drop it about there, and it'll make its own, and this is only 20 seconds or so long, but we know that, we've already seen it, it's a bit longer than that. So first thing before I do anything else is I'm going to right click that, and we can go to clip speed, and I'm just going to take the clip speed at 100%, let's say 150%, sorry 200, let's say 250, and that brings it down to about 20 seconds, which is handy because I've got that in the title. So let's just do that just now and play it again. I'll play it in real time, so you'll see the full 20 seconds. The clip and the head's just slowly but surely taking shape. Okay, and it ends just a little bit sharp, so what I'm going to do, let's zoom in a little to the timeline, and we'll add something in there. Let me see. Let's go further into the timeline, and we'll just take this back here one frame at a time. So Oops, pause that. I'm still recording this, so I'm pausing over the top of it. Right, let's go back up to here to the end of the clip. So on this, if you double click here on the timeline, bring the playhead along. Now there's one where I'm standing. I'm just going to add. Right. Quite hard to keep them quiet, so double click here again. And we'll just take a long one frame at a time because there's. And I'm going to add in one photo. So let's go into here and add this photo in here. Just drag and drop it into Camtasia. And I'm just going to add this to the end of the timeline in here. And we'll have it. So that's, how long is that on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 seconds. Oh, Derek here. Let me want to go right back to here. We'll just make this. Give a double click on the line. We'll pull that up there. Come back just one bit too far. So from here is 8 minutes, 30, 40, 50. So it's about 30 seconds. So I'm going to put that down just a little bit. So that clip there is now about a couple of seconds. It's a bit better. And I think we'll go to transitions, and quite like this an end one. So we'll do a bit of that. We'll play the last few seconds, and then I'm going to bring in a little bit of music to end it all. So we'll pull that there. We'll make that a couple of seconds more, and we'll make that spin a little bit longer. And we'll do that. Perfect. We'll manage to stop them again. Right. So let's bring the timeline back in now. And I'm going to get a little bit more media. This time we're going to add in something from my downloads folder. Oops, put it in the wrong place. We'll drop it here in the clip bin. And I'm going to now add this onto the timeline roughly about here. Okay, we're almost there. So just really where I want this to kick in. So we can, if we felt like it, get rid of just a little bit at the end of this. So move that there for a second. And what we'll do, we'll just get that down roughly about the same size as that. Right, let's see how this one plays now. So we would come to here. there we go, that's how we'll make it, and that'll end up a whole 20 seconds worth of video. Thanks for watching, hope this has been of some interest to you.